and welcome to the podcast. Welcome. Thank you. And I am here in a cemetery in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I love Plymouth. Love it. Can't get enough of it. But anyways, awesome cemetery here. God bless everyone that's alive and not alive. It's in the spirit form or wherever they are in the afterlife. So I'm going to cover a little history in witchcraft and the details in the English language. The details, D like the devil's tail. It's all in it. You follow? So here we go. Check this out. So, yeah, before I go any further, cheers. Cheers. And then here we go. I'm gonna cheers to you. And here we go. So there's this thing called the Georgia Guidestones, right? The Georgia Guidestones they came about, I guess, in 1979, and what happens, like they're perfectly aligned for like astronomical alignments with the moon and with solstice and all that. And it has languages all over, like English, I think Arabic, Russian, Chinese, and Swahili, and it talks about like world population and disease and war and all these different things, I believe. So it goes all the way down into those types of things. So it's an interesting thing to think about that we have our own guidestones in America, and they are, I guess, 42 years old by now. And so that's that. And so here's what I'm going to break down to you with witchcraft. So the first thing I'm going to break down is, for me, is that I know it's naturally in my blood. But let me break this down to you first, is my interpretation of witchcraft, of witches, the word witches. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do for you. So witches. All right. I'm going to break it down for you. And it's funny how it's backwards for you, because backwards is supposed to be satanic. That's funny. So check it out. So it is he you see W becomes an N. It is he you see, Michael Sylvia, Morning Star. Yes. And we also have something else for you. Here's what else I have for you. A lot more. So here we go. Let's break it down for you, right? So for me, so if I'm the morning star and the worlds are mine, say like Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, Michael, John, Sylvia. Check this out. So we got worlds. This is what I've got in my family tree and definition for myself. And a lot of people can do this. It's not just me. So you got LORD out of worlds, Lord. And then you've got the MS for the morning star. Because you got to remember that, like, if the devil's real, what happens is that you have a fallen angel who's actually the son of God. You know, and that's how that is interpreted from witchcraft, because even Jesus was a witch, if you think about it. So anyway, so here we go with astrology. So let me go with astrology real quick. Let's go with this. So astrology, and we're going to break this word down too. Watch what happens. Astrology. So you take the word astrology, see it? And watch what I do with it. So you take okay, sorry, missing an R. Astrology. Alright? So now you break it down. RATS for rats on the bottom. Rats. And on the top, you got stars. Stars and rats. Okay? And then here's another word I'm going to break down for you. Because from above are the stars, and then what you got from the stars is the star that came is Saint Ra, right? Another interpretation for you. So Saint Ra, Ra being the god in ancient Egypt that organized man through their mythology and cultural religious traditions and created gods. So then you got, okay, so check this out. So you just saw astrology where you've got stars and rats from the above and then below, and what's below is also a below. What's the same as above is what's below, and what's below is the same as above, but in reverse. And then what you have over here is this astronauts, because remember the English language is magical. It really is. You got to give it a lot of credit when you look at it and see what it has. So here's the word astronauts, right? Because remember, from above we had astronauts, and here we are with our language today, and is it connected? And here it is, astronauts. I got R-A-T-S, shows rats, on a, well, it's a U really, but the U can be flipped to an N, A-N-T-S. See, astronauts, seals, rats on ants. You flip the U to an N right over here. Rats on ants, astronauts. You see? Where, like, I mean, when you think about it, on top of the fact that there are books written about it in its deep history, that the founding, also connected to this, is that the founding fathers of the rocket factories, the founding fathers of the rocketry between the United States and Russia, as they first started and everything, they were deep into all that stuff. Everything about witchcraft, any kind of like psychedelic, whatever they needed to get to that next level, so they could do what they interpreted, which I know to be true, is that they went to, and they're looking to try and grab this information from above and bring it down to them, and what they can create with it. And what they were looking for is rockets, and they believed that it was working, and they were getting results. So whether you believe it or not, that's all based on that person's life experience and everything. But they believed it, and they were doing it, and it was working for them. So there's that story, and there's many stories like that. Okay, so we talked about the astronauts, we talked about astrology, and then like I said, we got, check this out, the Matrix, right? And I can break it down a lot of other ways, but check this out. Rat mix. You follow? From above to the below. And then you get art. You know? And then from above you got God. Right? And then below, down there, he has his dog. Remember that dog that they have in ancient Egypt, Anubis, who's down there weighing the souls, seeing who comes in and who goes out into the underworld, the afterlife. And Neo, if you want to break down Neo in the Matrix real quick, check this out. Neo, N-E-O, you already know this, is the one. Or for me, I go like this, N-E for New England, on. Ha 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 ha. That makes any sense. New England on. Yeah, baby. So, it's a lot of fun to look into the magic of everything, of numbers and letters, and the meaning deep into existence, and whether if people even understand it or not, or want to. It doesn't change anything really. It's just extra information just to know that there's another side to this. There's deeper things going on with afterlife and heaven, hell, people being spirits, or ghosts, or not being ghosts, or reincarnated, or however God fits that person based on their life experience and where they're going. And there's probably more, and just I'm sure there's more going on than just that. And it's certainly definitely not going to be nothing, right? And then, what else do I have for you? So check this out. Remember that I was going to break down the word, the Bible, right? Bible. So we got Bible. But I don't even have to write it down. But if you think about it and see here the word, hear it, Bible, like bye, like goodbye to the bull, which be the demon downstairs, and you're letting him know, like, goodbye, like this is for good. But then this, so that's the good thing. And then the other way of looking at it that people may interpret it is like take the letter B, which breaks down to number 13, right? Which is a very, very much a paranormal number. And then you got the LIE for the word lie. And then that breaks down from that, doing the opposite. And then we also have things like okay, so I've covered them before, the Nazis, right? Like they were definitely into the occult. They believed in, they were obsessed with like reincarnation and things like that. Even though they rounded up gypsies and all that people that believed in sorcery or witchcraft or whatnot, the science of it, the real stuff, not the stuff that people are peddling off that's just bullshit. So I guess in the concentration camps, they even figured out who the real ones were, ones that they figured were real. Then they rounded up and put them into their military. That's what I mean. So and this not just them, but like I guess other, I don't know. That's what I understand. That's what it seems to be, that they all get like absorbed, But I don't know. So check this out. So I mean, Gerald Gardner, right? I don't know if you ever heard of Gerald Gardner. Gerald Gardner, he's like the founding father of Wicca in England, where he and other witches were amongst them, like doing good and faithful amongst others, and all the positive in life. And then like when the Nazis came about, he and other witches got together and they got the fire going, and then they danced around it and whatnot, and they got the magic going, and then they sent spells off onto the Nazis. England's standing today, and the Nazis are not. You know what I mean? And that's just really what it is. Even though Germans, they were doing their thing. They were doing their thing. Everybody was. Excuse me. Let me see. I mean, think about this. I mean, like Hitler, real hit. Or what about Russia? Yeah, real quick. Let me get into the Bible real quick. I'm gonna get into Russia, and how I see. And I'm not getting into politics or war. I'm just saying like how in the paranormal part, how Russia is satanic. Like so is the United States really, and China. They all are. Maybe at the end of the day, like even if they didn't mean to at first, like it just turns out that way at the end of the day. And it always has been there before they even discovered it, before they were born, before realization. But it goes like this, like check this out. Okay, here's the first one I'm going to break down to you. So I broke down the Bible, then I break down this word, the word, because like there were words exchanged between the serpent and Eve, and it was all how it was exchanged, and break it, like one word just to break down was how our language comes to be from that, from all of the existence that happened in our culture. Believe, be, lie, Eve. You follow? And then she lied to Adam. He was like, all right, I'll eat it. Looks like you guys are having fun. You know, and he did. Pretty interesting interpretation, I think, that, you know, because the serpent was in love with Lilith, if you know that story, where Lilith was the first woman created for Adam, didn't work out, then she worked it out with the devil, and then he popped around to Eve, and then she took the fruit, and he took the fruit, and I guess that's the full story there, if you want to include Lilith in the whole thing. So what do we have? What do we have? So we have the Bible. So check this out. Check this out. So you got King James, for my interpretation, for me, right? This is for Michael, myself. Is that we got King, the word K-I-N-G. 1 second. I'm having fun. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I hope it's enlightening and that you're having a good time. Because I am. I love this place. So, King, K-I-N-G, little scribbly there. Alright, let me mark that up. King James. When I was seeing it, right? So, like, the interpretation of the K. Like, okay, the O is open, and then and the K is the close. So yeah, that's how I interpret that. And then like the G is holy for the number 7, they say, and also as the representation of the number 6 for a pair of 666. And the word in for the word in for in, and in would be down here. James, M in the middle for Michael, J here in the front, and S for Sylvia, A, me, Michael, John, Sylvia. And that's what I got as my interpretation for me in that when I got into Witchcraft, which I was saying, yeah, that's what it says. And what else do I have? I'll show you some more. Check this out. What do you think about this? Check this one out. You gotta give me credit more. Check it out. More credit. Gideon. Gideon's Bible. G for 666. Right? Son. So it's like, even though they get together to do the right thing, you can't separate the two. They're entwined. And people have to always decide, do we do good or do we do we do good or we do evil? And you should always want to do good, right? So that's pretty much what I get out of it. Is that a lot of these things, it's like these are representations through nature, through language, through the fact that humans are not a mistake, but are all creations, no matter how they've all been, or we've all been evolved or put here. How it happened, creation, evolution, both. I mean, think about it in the Bible in Genesis. Check this out. Genesis. Right? If you look at it this way, look at it. Bring this down to is. And then you have genes. Is genes. Like is genetics, right? It's all right there in the Bible. It's all encoded. It's all codes. Bible codes. Bible code. So the genes is genetics is what God used as a scientist to put Adam in a deep, right? He put it, so it says in the Bible, if you go deep in whatever language you want to go to, the Arabic or whatever it is, that, you know, these languages All the languages. There's all stories around the world about this, not just. So God puts Adam in a deep sleep, puts him on a slab, he falls asleep, opens him up, takes a rib, and from the rib, right, he makes a woman. He made Lilith, and then he made Eve. But in this process, the scientist, God, he messed up along the way. He made Lilith, gave her to the devil pretty much, and then Eve stayed with the man Adam when he woke up out of the deep surgery. So it's pretty interesting. It's a lot of interpretation to check out. Interpretations to check out. And thank you for your time. I greatly appreciate it. And also what to break down would be an interesting thing, I think. Okay. So let's get into Russia and the paranormal part, on how they're satanic, in the sense of how I think the Nazis were satanic. Like because for what they're doing to go into Ukraine and all that, literally is what you've got to look at as a death cult, because that's all death cult stuff they're doing. It's, bombing the hospitals and everything that they're doing over there with civilians, running them over and killing them and stuff. So with all of that happening over there, that's all satanic, and they're getting paid for it, and then the money's coming through. So a lot to think about that. So anyways, you had Lenin, another one Stalin, and then you have Putin, all ins, right? Pretty interesting. And also, before I go into Russia real quick, let me just launch off two more interpretations that's going to link science and in the spirituality and the presence of what we got going on right now. And here's what it is. So first we're going to go with Sputnik. All right. So Sputnik is the first satellite launched into space, right, by the Russians, guided by the intelligence that was given to them, their scientists, and our scientists did the same thing, so I'm going to get to us too. But check this out. Sputnik. K-I-S-S-P-U-T-I-N. Putin. You see? Kiss Putin. And it says that because in my interpretations, like that man is definitely satanic. He's gonna do what he's got to do, and he's not gonna stop. He'll use nukes if he has to. He'll nuke Ukraine if he has to get his way that way. He'll do it. So that's my interpretation of that. Real quick, just on that, real quick. And then also, what about ours? We put Voyager out there, right? So we have Voyager, right? Voyager, and then what I got out of that was this. This was what my interpretation became. You can check that out. Voyager, a gray over, a gray being the aliens. You follow? The gray aliens, yeah. So there you go. So you got that. You got these interpretations. This is what I have for you. This is what it is. Aliens, stars to the rats. What's below is above. What's above is below. Then what do we have? So here I have some more interesting interpretations for you as well. And thank you for staying with me. This is fantastic. I'm having fun. I'm getting excited over here. So here we go. So with the English language being as magical as it is, because remember that at once upon a time, before the czars took over and everything, is that pretty much all of the kings of all of Europe were all directly related to the royalty of England. Right? True story. So with that noted, and knowing that, I go down with you on the English magic of how they interpret through the paranormal magic of the words for the Russians. So check this out. So you have the word, and I'll put it all right here. You have the word Tsar, T. You can put a Z or an S, doesn't matter. A Z is a backwards S in this realm of what I'm trying to show you. But I'm going to put the S, A-R-S. T-S-A-R for the Tsar, which is what Putin would be right now. He's technically the Tsar. But the Tsar really technically is a R-A-T-S. Tsar is for rats. And also below him, what he has is a hierarchy, is an oligarchy, right? Because those are the oil people, the money billionaires, the oil oligarchy. Let me write that word down for you. It's another translation. Oligarch. So oligarch. Here's what you've got. Check this out. Oil rag. Arch. An arch is like archangel or archbishop, archduke. So they are the arch oil rags. I mean, why? There's billions of dollars in oil, right? So then, like, you become filthy from it and everything, and then boom, you get the satanic poop stain from the words and the magic that comes with it, the energy that's pronounced from it. Energy and magic. I mean, I have a friend that I know that I work with. We were talking about this, but speaking about magic, what about the magic of love? Just for example, she's talking about her son, and I'm like, man, it's interesting how if you witness on how a mother loves her child, and that love, even though you can see it physically and everything, but like no science can like measure that energy. You see what I'm saying? And that doesn't, but it's there, and it's more than just the feeling from the inside. There's a lot more going on. So it's just badass, So we've got that, and then I'd break down, like, say, the Pope, right? Because I could go deep into the to the Vatican on the Satanism that's all within it, with the serpents and everything, and we'll do that another time. But basically, I'll break it down to you this way: it's like if the Pope is a good guy, he's just the Pope, and it'll say, hey, he's Pope, and they don't question the word. They just go with it. But if you look at it closely and you break it apart just a little bit, poop and pee from Pope, P-O-P-E, poop and pee, and that's what they become satanically if they become the wrong thing. It goes from the dream world of just being Pope to the demonology and satanic being nothing more than poop and pee. You go to hell from there. So everything's measured, everything's going on. It's all real. It's more than, think about it like this. There's more I'm going to break down to you. There's more I'm going to break down to you. Check this out. So the Nazis, they were in the Reichstag, right? The Reichstag is like the parliament, the capital. So I'm gonna break it down for you real quick. Reichstag is rich, stage. The rich stage, where the rich get on it and they get richer. They keep talking, they pass laws build walls between them and the people below them. And knowing all this about like history and the satanic, and because like look at like in our country, which I love. Don't get me wrong. It's just like in the bill. I mean, if you look at the dollar bill closely, you've got you got the pyramid, you got the eagle, you got 13 stars. Let's go for number 13. You got "In God We Trust." A lot of deep meaning in this, but I'm just gonna go with that. "In God We Trust," you know, and that's America, real America. And people that don't believe in that, it's, I don't know what to tell you. That's okay, And let's see what I have here. Did you know that in World War I, when Franz Ferdinand was killed, the license plate that was on his car, that him and his wife Sophia were killed in, that license plate on it, 111119, is the year, month, and date that war was going to end 4 years later. Karma. I mean, not a lot of vehicles back then. Not a lot of license plates either. Karma. It's all real. And then, let me break down real quick a really good one, just to go along with that type of paranormal thinking. Werner von Braun, right? Yeah, I don't know if you read this recently. This is probably about a month ago I read this. That what happened was that Werner von Braun, the scientist that we had, our rocket scientist, they got us to the moon and found NASA, is that he wrote a book. He wrote a book about a scientist that would go to Mars from Earth. He wrote this book in the 60s, and the character in the book is Elon. That's the name. Real facts. And now we have real Elon Musk today, and he's got plans on dying on the moon one day. Oh, no, sorry, the Mars. Going to Mars and dying there. Make it a one-way trip. So pretty sweet. I love it. Man, thank you. Yeah, and it's a fun fact that we went in 1969. If nines are sixes, you got 666, 1969. You follow? So it's all like that, and it's pretty cool. I love how everything turned out with science. We got a lot of science in this country, and that makes us number one. Even though I guess Chinese and all them steal technology from us and then use it against us, but it's like that's just like monkey see, monkey do. It's not inventive. It's just right. So it's like I don't know. That still makes this country number one. So we're so good, people want to take it and copy it. Hey, we're that good. That's how good this country is. Came up with the automobile, right? Electricity, all that stuff, man. It's a great country. Very innovative. Love it. I wouldn't want to be born any other time, any other place, any other way. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm trying to make sure that if I'm leaving anything out, because I have notes here, and I just want to make sure that I covered everything, and pretty much I did. Just shout out to my mom. I love her. Her name's Valerie, which to me is the planet Venus. And I'm her Michael Sylvia morning star. So I love her. Shout out to mom. Shout out to dad. So my family. Yeah. Friends. And I guess that's pretty much it. I don't want to bore you to death. I'm like, just kind of making sure, and I think I've covered everything. There's a lot more things I could cover, but we're gonna go with that for now. So interpretations deep within reality as we live it. We're living like day-to-day lives. We're working. We gotta take care of ourselves, our family. We gotta go shopping. We're trying to go do things too. But all I can say is this: God is real, devil's real, And all I see it is this, is that is good people, is no matter what, keep doing the right thing, and evil, no matter how big it gets, I've always believed this, and I know it's true in history, that no matter how much chaos happens, and eventually sanity always prevails over chaos. So that's how it is. Love thy brother, love thy sister. You know, one more fun fact that I thought was really interesting. 2020 quarter has a bat on it, right? COVID, bat. So I like that. I think it's cute. So anyways, I love you. Thank you very much for joining. And if you would like to keep supporting this podcast, I'm going to do another one. I'll more likely have a guest this time, or not. We'll see what happens. And, I'm going to do my thing. You do yours. And God bless you. And if you're into witchcraft, that's great. That's fantastic. It's not a bad thing. It's great. I got my two witches, though. My what I like to call my sun and my moon. My sun and my moon are Tracy and Kristen, and they know who they are. And I'm with the both of them till in this life and next life and the afterlife. And I also have an ex-wife that I'm not in love with. I'm not with her anymore, but we are still friends. That's all it is. But I love her as a friend, and I want always the best for her, and I pray for her, and I love her, and she's doing great. Her name's Verity. Shout out to her too, my ex-wife. I'll never get married again. I got my two witches now, my two girls, my two ladies. And Verity's a witch too. Yes, she is a good one. Yeah, well, they're all queens, really. Actually, more queens, I'd say. But Verity is the Venus. So that's you, Verity. You're Venus, and Maisie is Mercury. Mercury and Venus go together. So, and I'm Michael, John, Sylvia, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Your morning star. I'm letting you guys go. So thank you for joining again. And like I said, if you want to like, subscribe. You can share. And if you have any comments, I'd love to have them. So thanks very much for your time, and have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Love you. God bless. Thanks for joining in the podcast. All right. Thank you.